Laura and this is for adults. Please, if you're a child, click out. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so very much for clicking on this video. I really appreciate you stopping by today, and I really want to say thank you. And I do hope you stick around because it helps me progress. Today I want to talk about vagina health. So about 2 years ago in October, precisely 15th of October, I made a video about Bartholin cyst versus abscess and the experiences I had and that of our family members, and a lot of experiences that women has been going through. I've read a lot of articles, online articles, a lot of comments on, like, you know, videos like this. I took interest because it's something that affected me, not just by discomfort but also like in terms of like self-esteem, because intimately with my partner becomes a thing of a shame, because I felt dirty. Not just that, I felt on my own. I didn't feel comfortable because every time I sit down, I can actually feel discomfort coming around my vagina because, you know, of something like that. So that was the first video I did, and I'm really happy and appreciative of people who have watched that video, because people are really sometimes ashamed to talk about things like this because you don't know what kind of reaction you get from people. So I brought myself out and I opened up, and no judgment was passed, and I really appreciate that. I read that about 2% of women population go through this once in their lifetime, and like, you know, at first I thought it was more racially, you know, generated, but then when I look up there and I see videos done by you know, other people, different races, I was like, oh, I don't think this is just race, you know, it's just gender, which is just female, because we have that gland. So Bartholin gland is like a gland in the body near on your labia minora, if you're you know anatomy of the body. So there's a labia majora, which is the outside lips, the inner lips is in the labia minora, and on that there's a Bartholin cyst that like produce secretion. So the Bartholin gland is supposed to secrete secretion to lubricate down their vagina when there's a sexual intercourse happening. So, you know, your hormones go up and everything is connecting, and there's, you know, secretion there when there's a lot of penetration. So this is Laura, and this is for adults. Please, if you're a child, click out. This is too much information. I was reading an article and they say about 2% of women go through this in their lifetime, especially the ones in their reproductive lifetime, and they say that if you get to menopause it should stop. But I read a comment where a lady said she was 74 or something like that, 50 something, and she had the same Bartholin cyst, and I'm confused because I was like, if research say that menopause you should not get it anymore, then what is a 70-something-year-old, why is a 70 something year old still getting it? So it's mind-blowing, isn't it? But a Bartholin cyst is an accumulation of secretion. So if these secretions are not able to drain out during sex, or, you know, just drain out by itself, it accumulates and it forms a Bartholin cyst, and when it gets infected it forms an abscess. And this Bartholin cyst, it should not be painful unless if it gets infected, which is there's infection involved, so it becomes painful. When I had mine, it wasn't painful, it was just felt discomfort because sitting down, you know, you sit down like this, so you're sitting on part of your private part, your vagina, so you will feel it because you're sitting on this thing. Some people even say that theirs grow to the size of egg. So you imagine sitting on something that's as big as a size of egg. That would be hell. It affected my self-esteem and also sexually. I'm gonna be truthful to you. Though when I initially when that started happening to me, I was not sexually active the period when I found out I was having that. And so when I went to the doctor to see if, you know, because I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know the name, I didn't know what to search for on the internet, and you know, I was like the only one experiencing things, like I was confused. And when I went to see the doctor, because I thought it was cancer at first, because every time I tried to feel it, it kept moving around. That damn thing got me really frustrated. It's so frustrating if you don't even know. So, and the doctor looked at me and said he can't do anything because it's not painful. I was like, yeah, it's not painful, but I feel discomfort, and my self-esteem is not where it's supposed to be. And he said, let's see if it's abscess, he can do anything. So I endured it for a couple months. So I went to see my gynecologist because at this point I'm just done. And she went ahead and drained it, and she put in a catheter and drained it out. But I've heard somebody talk about a surgery named marsupialization. I'm gonna put a little bit name. Okay, I think is where they drain it out and they make a pocket or something to create where, you know, the secretion will be draining out without, you know. But then the lady said after she did that, couple months later, the thing came back, and then it just keep coming back. So, but I want to talk about my post-surgical experiences and the things. So this is 2 years I've done this now. The first video I posted was October 15th, so I did it like a couple weeks before that. So this is 2 years post surgical intervention, and I want to tell you my experience. So after the surgery went through and I came home, I felt better. Oh my god, I felt myself, my vagina, and everything was normal. I was like, wait, what? Because I had that for so long. And I felt the catheter. She explained to me that there's a catheter that is gonna fall out 2-3 days after. So, but in my mind I was scared. I was like, what about if it falls out and then it falls out and the thing, these secretions accumulate and the thing comes back? Because she told me there's a likelihood that it's gonna come back, because this is not like finalized cure or something. So what I did, I monitored it. After that fell out, I keep, every time I pee, I feel down there to see if there's any lump forming. Sometimes couple months after, I felt like a lump coming back, so I massaged it. I keep massaging the area, the surface, and keep massaging it, and I keep massaging it, and that disappeared. Okay. And then since then I have not had any experience. I still sometimes, when I think about it, still feel like something is forming down there, and I go to the bathroom to make sure there's nothing. I really didn't change anything. I've seen some people say that sometimes it's because of if you douche a lot, like if you douche a lot, then that might be the cause of that. Or some people say it might be stress. Some people say it might be hormonal. Nobody have a decent explanation. Even the medical doctors don't know. Nobody knows why that happens. It can be infection. And for me, I think if you're maybe not ready for sex and there's some sort of like force, a constant force can also like create something like that. I'm just trying to understand why this is happening. So if you're the kind of person that gets dry before penetration, I think the decent thing is to go find artificial lubricant and use. We are adults, don't be ashamed. And that is whatever. And then for home remedy, I haven't really, before then I was using the Sitz Bath. I didn't hear about the Prid. There's something named Prid that Walgreens and Walmart sells. I think Amazon sells it. And what does that thing contains the drawing serve, and serve is something that pulls like things together, splinter and all of that, like it pulls things out to the surface. So what they do is apply that over that, and it helps pull it, but it doesn't work for everybody. And that Prid is P-R-I-D. They sell it at Walgreens or at Walmart if you're in the state. If you're in UK or Europe, I don't know, maybe try some store that looks like Walmart. I don't know. Or pharmacy, something that looks like pharmacy. Walgreens is like more like a pharmacy, you know, but they sell other stuff. So okay, another home remedy that I've heard is turmeric. I've heard about turmeric. You can use the turmeric powder and oil and mix them, and coconut oil, and mix them together and put it over the cyst area, and it helps drain, because turmeric is anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. It has a lot of herbal benefits. I use it to cook, so I encourage it. And it also helps clean. I remember a couple last year I used it a lot when I had with the face covering. I had a lot of like acne, like pimples. I bought the one that actually I didn't buy. I used the one that I use for food, and I mix it up with water, and I use it as like a mask, you know. So if you use it with tomato, like fresh tomato, to apply, it works really better, you know. So it's very good. Don't say I didn't tell you anything good. So if they say when you apply both of them, leave it for a couple minutes, or even leave it for a couple hours, it will drain and get bigger. So they say after that, then you can mix sea salt and baking powder together, and apply it on a pad and stick it over there and wear your underwear and move around. They say it will tend to be a little bit painful because you know, it might work, it might not work. So it takes, sometimes some people say there's took a couple hours, some people say there's took a day or two, and some people, they got frustrated and went to the hospital, and it didn't bust while they were trying to go to when they tried to go to surgery. Isn't that amazing? After you're ready to go to surgery and that bust. So those are like the things. So another one that somebody had recommended is tea tree oil. Also helps to numb the pain from that. So you apply the tea tree around it, you'll feel a little bit tingling that will numb, causes it to numb, and then helps to reduce the pain. So you have to understand that different people have, you know, with different bodies and different ways, you know. So those are the home remedy. Obviously, do Sitz Bath. Okay, Sitz Bath is water. Some people sell Sitz Bath at Amazon. Well, my Sitz Bath, from what I understand as nursing, old nursing student, is put water, hot water, some salt, and just sit on it. That's what people use when for Kegel, whatever exercise to tighten the muscle, your vagina muscle, after birth. That is what the treatment, like home remedy is. Which food? I heard that sugar can contribute to that. I don't eat a lot of sugar. I don't eat a lot of fast food. So since 2 years now, I've been happy without that. And there's a possibility, there's no possibility. I make sure that when I wash myself, it's okay to put your finger in your vagina, inside your vagina, and wash it. Seriously, you don't have to douche all the time. It's not advisable to even douche all the time. So it is okay to wash your vagina using your fingers. Push it in there and wash it out. Okay, not with soap, because soap can, depending on the soap, if it doesn't work with your hormone, your chemical in your body, it might cause fungus infection. So they have to be, you know, and you don't want to keep the normal flow around your vagina. So you gotta be careful and watch out. Maybe the soap that you use, or maybe the cream that you do, you cream down there, or maybe it's your sex partner. Do you all need to talk about sexual infection? You know, it's things you need to talk about, because there's nobody, it don't really know, you know. And I heard some people don't wear underwear. Don't understand why you won't wear underwear. How comfortable is it to just sit randomly at different places? Because I can't not wear underwear. Like panties, like your drawers. I'm done. But anyways, this is the part 2 of my bacterial cyst journey. I'm gonna keep updating you, and leave a comment. Let's interact there. Hopefully I'm gonna list these remedies, home remedies. And I know for some people who are not in the States, I was trying to Google another drawing stuff that you all can use. I think you could probably have to check for, you know, Google or something, and look for products. Maybe they have a different name for a drawing stuff, you know. But I couldn't figure out which other. They had a lot of products that have that drawing stuff that is not PRID. okay? So just in case. So this is it. I'm gonna go ahead and log out for today. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.